You don't pray for those who despitefully use you. You are rebelling. In other words, when you go against the commands of God, you are rebelling against God. So that everybody then needs restoration. Now don't think for 1 minute that just because you're saved, you're clear. You are, but then there's something called sanctification. Because even though I'm saved, I'm not yet perfect. On any given day, I can think something I have no business thinking. Want somebody I ain't got no business with. Come on, I'm a real person. On any given day, somebody can pluck my last name. And one of them 4-letter words I thought was crucified has a sudden resurrection. Don't y'all look at me like I'm crazy. Some of y'all cursing right now. On any given day, I can go somewhere and do something I know is wrong, and I will have done it in a premeditated way. I may not get back next year, but I'm here tonight. I need restoration. My friend Wayne Thompson of the First Institutional Baptist Church, St. Petersburg, Florida, was on a safari about a month ago in South Africa. And they went on this safari about 2.5 hours outside of Cape Town in a place called the Kruger Natural Park. And on the safari bus, they obviously had a driver, they had a tour guide, and then they had a man who was perched over the left front light called the tracker. Now the safari bus would go out into the wild, and they would literally track wild animals. But the job of the tracker was to track the animal by the animal's waist. The tracker could determine by the dung, by the weight, by the bowel movement, what kind of an animal they were on the trail of. There was elephant dung, there was graffiti dung, there was monkey dung. Now I know this is not the most hygienic metaphor, but I'm going somewhere with this. Rhinoceros dung, hippopotami dung. Okay, y'all don't get it. If the tracker on the safari in the South African forest can track an animal by his dung, the Lord saves us by tracking us by our mess. He tracks you by your mess. Don't y'all sit up here and look at me like I'm crazy. I got mess, you got mess. All God's children got mess. God tracks us by our stinks. Come on, I'm preaching up in here. Francis Thompson wrote a poem called The Hound of Heaven. And he calls Jesus the Hound of Heaven. In other words, Jesus is a hound that tracks me down. Y'all ain't got to shout yet. You ought to be glad that the Lord didn't leave you in your mess.